the meantime, in spite of Slovakia's newly elected leader expressing doubts to help fund Ukraine's defense and the U.S. Congress earmarking $0 in its spending items over the next 45 days, U.S. President Joe Biden vowed continuing support, as VOA's Anita Powell reports.
Cracks are appearing in the wall of Western support for Ukraine as President Joe Biden beseeches congressional Republicans to grant the $24 billion he seeks to fortify Ukraine against Russia's invasion. Congress over the weekend passed a stopgap spending bill that keeps the U.S. government open for another 6 weeks. But that package did not include the Ukraine aid, leading Biden to appeal across the political aisle to legislators who have expressed concerns about accountability and exasperation that the war is still raging after more than 19 months.
I hope my friends on the other side keep their word about support for Ukraine. They said they're going to support Ukraine in a separate vote. We cannot, under any circumstance, allow American support for Ukraine to be interrupted. I fully expect the Speaker to keep his commitment to secure the passage and support needed to help Ukraine as they defend themselves against aggression and brutality.
On Monday, White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre told VOA that the administration remains determined amid this domestic pressure and concerns from the newly elected leader of NATO member Slovakia, who campaigned that he would not send a single bullet to Ukraine from the state's stocks.
NATO alliance, it's the strongest that it's ever been because of what this president's leadership has been. We're going to continue to certainly have those conversations with our partners and allies. But look, and I said this earlier, it does not help. It does not help what we see House Republicans doing.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, hosting European foreign ministers in Kiev on Monday, said unity is crucial.
Our victory explicitly depends on our cooperation. The more powerful and principled steps we take together, the sooner this war will end fairly, with the restoration of our territorial integrity and a reliable guarantee of peace for the whole of Europe.
And from Moscow, President Vladimir Putin's spokesman appeared to take a dig at the situation, saying Moscow sees tiredness among Western supporters. To which Jean-Pierre replied,
"And if Putin thinks he can outlast us, he's wrong. He's wrong." And so we will have another package of aid for Ukraine soon to signal our continued support for the brave people of Ukraine. And so that's our message. If he thinks he can outlast us, that is Mr. Putin, we believe he's wrong.
But military experts acknowledged that Zelensky's counteroffensive, which aimed to bite off chunks of Russian-held territory, has been slower than hoped.
The results have been disappointing, and a number of people are asking the question, how does this end? What is Ukraine's theory of victory? I think President Zelensky is going to have to articulate that in the next couple of months in order to rally his supporters.
But the Ukrainian people remain determined. Over the weekend, the besieged capital held its first full marathon since the start of the invasion. 5,000 participants, many of them service members, some of them amputees, ran the 42-kilometer course to raise money for the nation's defense, step by painful step. Anita Powell, VOA News, the White House.